Earthlove Global Soil Humus Formation DIY video. Do you see what's in this video right now? See these little guys? They are beneficial fungi. There is thousands of them. They're everywhere. Okay, can you see it? It's all the way down there. This is the future in farming. Why? Soil humus is created through beneficial fungi. Now, when you're creating soil humus, and in this DIY soil humus video, we're going to teach you how important it is to increase the amount of fungi in every square meter. Why? Because for every square meter, you need to be feeding a minimum of 700 worms. That's 7 million worms a hectare. That is the most fertile soils in the world. Now, these little guys is what creates soil humus that creates food for worms that breaks down nutrients to a cellular, yeast-like value food, which is bioavailable for the soil. That's why soil humus DIY videos are really good, because they produce the information that landowners that are trying to get fertile topsoil, they don't understand that that fertility comes from soil humus. Now, if you don't have any soil humus, your fertility in your topsoil is depleted, or is depleting every season that passes by. How to regenerate soil, how to regenerate soil humus. In this DIY soil humus video, you are going to learn the foundations for soil. So we're going to have a look around. What do you see? There's leaves, there's organic matter, there's grass. Is there enough coverage over this area for the sun? No, but there's bigger shades like trees. Now, when you have issues with soil and you're trying to create soil humus, contact the Earthlove Global team. Our team are specialists in soil humus formation. You can DIY your own soil humus, but if you want to increase your soil humus by 500 years or 7,500 years, which is on average about 15 inches of soil humus, then contact the Earthlove Global team, because we will come out and set up your property effectively and efficiently, helping you to restore millions of these little bad boys all across your soil's profile. Now, what is this? This is fungi, mycelia network. This network is pretty predominant down in this area, and what you want is more of these, because they're like a fuel cell, like a fuel station for your vehicle. But in this circumstance, the vehicle is soil, which grows food. So when you're trying to grow soil humus, you need lots of these, and bacterias, and organic matter, and soil coverage. Because as soon as the sun hits the soil, it will deplete the fungi and bacterias. So you need mulch, or you need cover crops. But that's not the only thing. Every time the sun evaporates the soil, these fungi actually can grow out into locations where it's struggling. But if you don't have enough surface area of coverage to stop the sun from evaporating, then you get compaction. So that is where the worms come into play. But guess what? Fungi and bacterias die from the UV light. So then the food source for the worms disappear, and then compaction. Now, if you were to travel around the world and you had animals, check your soils. Do you have 700 worms a square meter? If you don't, you can actually increase that by 700 worms in a square meter, and therefore your soil humus will start to produce big results. Because every time the animal urine or the animal's manure drops onto the ground, that's a food source for these guys. If you don't have ELG Myco 15 in your field, which is an Australian-based fungi product that depletes bad fungi and bad bacteria, this good beneficial fungi and bacteria product will increase your soil's fertility and will increase your worm count, which then increases your soil humus productivity. Now, we're giving you the most vital information in this video right now. This is what people pay $50,000 and $150,000 and even a couple of $1 million to understand. So take this information, do your own soil humus DIY. If you want to get your soils kickstarted and get your location thriving, then go over to Earthlove Global and find where it is that you can find enough fungi and bacteria all in a square meter. The more of these, the better the location, the better the soils, the healthier the location, the healthier the soils, the more crop and productivity you get in every square meter. The less of these, less fungi and bacteria, less worms, more compaction, more anaerobic fungi and bacteria, causing detriment to your soils, and then loss of production, disease, and so many more issues. So that is the main factor. Increase your soil humus via Myco 15 by ELG, Earthlove Global team. And we are more than happy to come out to your site and help you to regenerate your ecosystems and your soil humus. In this DIY, there is foundations. Number one, if you're trying to DIY your soil humus or creating soil humus DIY in your backyard or your land, the number one foundation, fungi and bacteria. The number two is, in fact, mulching. By mulching, you will start to increase your soil coverage, and which will feed the fungi and bacteria, which will feed the worms. So if you want to increase your productivity in your field quickly, rather than taking 5 or 10 years, then contact the Earthlove Global team, because we will fast track your soil humus effectively and efficiently. This is for commercial growers, landowners, government, commercial operations, anyone that's growing from soil that needs help to grow soil humus. We are here to help you to restore your ecosystems and your natural productivity of soil humus naturally, effectively, and efficiently. Google Earthlove Global for more information. We'll be back next week with another video in regards to soil humus productivity and soil humus in Australia. We help people all over the world globally by the Earthlove Global team. We'll be back next week with another video on soil humus.